What's up, guys? Welcome back to Umineko. Finally, huh? Every year, the villagers visiting Rokenjima would let out a sigh of admiration at the rose garden that first greeted them. They would stop to their chat about the rose's beauty and how well they were blooming that year. In the midst of this all, there was a single unhealthy rose, and Maria became overwhelmed with the dejection of this condition. But George used his quick wits and said that everything would be fine if they took care of this poor thing, marked with a kidney wrapper, and immediately restored Mariah's good mood. And the battler with whom she'd been getting along well since that morning started talking about Halloween. This was such a favorite topic of Mariah's that she began playing around energetically again. To Mariah, that marshmallow Jekyll-Lantern her candy bought by her mother was probably the greatest sort of treasure. They seemed about several, and she demanded trick-or-treat from every person she met, giving them candy instead of the other way around. I wonder why Mariah likes Halloween so much. I always figure it's a pretty unfamiliar event for the Japanese. Well, it's a kids' festival where they get to parade around costumes, right? It can be fun to play around in an outfit that's different than usual. I think there's a slightly deeper cause behind it. After all, she is the witch Mariah-chan. Come to think of it, when we were at the airport, didn't Mariah say that if she was going to wear a costume and be a witch? Does she like witches? Yeah, she loves them so much that it becomes a problem. And it's not so bad. You expect kids at the age to love fantastical stuff like that. If it was just a heroine on some TV anime, at least it'd be cute. A sigh. Just by Rose's appearance, she wasn't very happy about her daughter's love for witches as her mother. The cousins other than Butler seemed to realize this, and they shrugged, wearing stiff smiles. So you're arguing that because she likes witches, she also likes Halloween? If we don't know, why don't we just ask her? Hey, Mariah, how are Halloween and witches related? As Bella asked that, George just let off stifled as if they're trying to stop him, but too late. Mariah might have been waiting for that question. After being my friend instant, her expression turned to a little mean, as if to say, you're totally clueless, aren't you? It was the face of a hobbyist who's been ticked off by an outsider saying something stupid about their favorite subject. She has that crazy look, though. Ooh. To the cells, changing shift of the sun over the course of a year signified its birth, its growing up period, its aging and death, and its revival. I get it. In the spring, the weak warm sun starts to grow up. It gets hot. It gradually gets weaker and warms out. Some sort of makes sense to think of it as the sun living out an entire life. Yeah, so they thought that in October the sun died, was laid to rest in the land of the dead, and then was revived at the winter's solstice. And the name they gave to the last day of the year when the sun ended its 1 year lifespan and died was Samhain, and they celebrated then. It's an interesting idea to think the sun is revived on the day of winter solstice, when the daylight hours start to grow longer again. It's okay, so that makes it clear how much the ancients regarded the sun as sacred. I see. So what does that have to do with witches? It seemed that my casual urging forward had slightly infuriated Mariah. She glared at me with the eyes that told me to shut up while she explained. Mariah seemed having a blast as she talked, so I decided not to interrupt. In the interval between October and November, life and death became the closest they ever will. The cells believed that during this time, the world of living grew closer to the world of the dead and otherworldly beings, and many of those living in the other worlds would come to visit. It was like the Bon Festival in Japan. At the time, people believed the souls returning to the physical world would go into people's houses or possess people and do bad things. So in order to avoid harm, they performed rituals. One was to imitate creepy monsters and scare souls back, which is apparently a way to avoid being possessed. That part became a festival, which turned into a costume parade. You really know a lot, don't you, Mariah? Ain't that the truth? Even I never knew Halloween has such history. Now, where did that whole trick-or-treat thing come from? I know it was so intensive that adults had suddenly started listening too. Mariah, who was verbally treated like the youngest all the time, puffed out her chest with pride, saying this was just a kid's discussion. Rosa suggested that adults go on ahead and sit their luggage down in the guest house, but nobody else agreed to go with her, and she let a heavy sigh. Ooh, trick-or-treat is just for fun, and it's nothing to do with what was originally a Celtic ceremony that was created later when Christian customs were mixed in. However, I think it was time for Halloween to be that way. According to Mariah, the souls of the dead, one of the ones who were visited from the non-human world. They were also spirits with intimate connections to people's everyday lives. Humans could receive favors from those spirits, like magic and magnificent blessings, as well as a year's worth of good crops. So basically, Halloween is also a bit of a harvest festival. I get it. Now that you mention it, I guess October is a turning point in all kinds of ways, including the seasons. Start out the upset of April in Japan. Yeah, that might be a good place to market. Ew, and also the witches hold a witch assembly then called Sabbath, the witches take their spirits that gave out blessings that prospered and reward them. How many customers imitate the guests that come from the other side. In other words, you might say giving out candy is a way to show gratitude for the yearly harvest. Ooh, just like George Onichan says. So long as a time when those two worlds intermingle. In other words, it's the most important chance for witches to intermingle with guests from that world. So you're trying to say, ooh, just like Butler says. And you know what? October is with the power of witches and demons that's most vigorous and prosperous. I'm sure beaches will come. And then we'll eat marshmallow candies together, and she'll bring me to the Golden Land with her. We'll sing magical songs together, learn magic spells together, learn how to draw magic circles together. And then we'll learn the secrets of the ruins, and I'll become a great witch really, really quickly. Mama, is that wonderful? It's best for kids to have dreams. By the way, Rosa, how old will Mariah be this year again? Mariah, that's enough of that. Don't worry about it, Rosa. It's a dream all girls have at one time or another. Thank you very much, but Mariah's already graduated from that age. Hey, I'm telling you to stop. Rosa scolded Mariah, trying to shut her up before her cheery discussion about black magic earned her the stickers of the relatives. Oh, that sounded pretty detailed and impressive. By the way, who is Beatrice again? I know I've heard that name somewhere before. Bella had gone for 6 years and had completely forgotten about the legend of the Rook and Jima witch. However, when she said he didn't know Beatrice's name, Mariah's bright mood soured in an instant. When he saw that, Battler immediately remembered that it was the name of the witch of this island, but the damage had been done. Until Mariah's moods improved, she went on and on about many mysterious and fabulous episodes regarding the Golden Witch. That's enough, Mariah. Thank you, Battler, for letting her chat with you. Ken and Kun, don't you have work to do? Please leave now. Go to the side. Looks like everyone wants to set down their bags with time being. Sorry, but could you guide everyone to the guest house? Certainly. Well then, everyone allow me to guide you. And if you'll excuse me, Golder led the relatives as they began to head towards the guest house. They were eager to set down their luggage and take a breather, so they didn't realize Rosa and Mariah weren't coming with them. After watching Emily towards the guest house, Rosa's face changed suddenly. She let go of the hand that had been grabbing Mariah this whole time. There was a bright red mark there, making it clear how much excessive force she had been using on Mariah's underarm. The hand and something more against Mariah's head pinched her left ear and lifted. Even though I'm always telling you to talk about witches, haven't I always said that our promise together? Mama, ouch, 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 ouch. You really do like blabbering on about Halloween all the time, don't you? A festival for witches? Who cares about the cells, black magic, all that idiotic trash? You're 9 years old. 9. Because of that scene you made in the train, I went all the trouble making it stop in mind those disgusting monster marshmallows that look like they have fluorescent paint on them. I went on my way to buy it, even though it made a sleigh. How much more will you embarrass me before you're satisfied? As was her curse, she twisted Mariah's ear up, almost as though she was about to tear it off. An expression of anger spread across Mariah's face while she frantically stood on her tiptoes, trying to something to put in that ear. Rosa suddenly grabbed the kitty that Mariah had been holding. She threw it on the ground and stepped on it over and over. To Mariah, it was supposed to be proof of a memory of a brief span of time when her mother had bought something fun for her. But now that same mother was squirting it into the ground right in front of her. It was as though a brain had been pushed to the Mariah's eye, leaving that mark that could never be erased. What's the deal with this disgusting kitty? Disgusting. It's because you're like that. It's all because you're like that. Disgusting. As she said that, she struck Mariah's head over and over again with her palm. She didn't hit Mariah's face because the red swelling would stand out. Mariah closed her eyes tightly, patiently bearing her mother's violence. No, that wasn't quite it. Come back, Mama, save me, Mama, defeat the bad witch. She kept bearing Rosa's assault, muttering that over and over. Then I tell you to stop talking about witches. Why, you. Rosa, tired from hearing her thought, had breathed so hard her shoulders shook. Mariah grasped her hands together, was standing there, hoping her mother would return soon. Mama, come back quickly. Save me, Mama. Beat the bad witch. Fine, just stay there like that forever. Just stand there mumbling about witches and only forever. After hearing those words at Mariah, Rosa left in the direction of the guest house, leaving Mariah behind. Mariah, forgetting even that it was okay to cry, kept staring at the jack-o'-lantern candy that had been trampled beyond recognition. Oh, Rosa, where were you? I'm sorry, the roses were so wonderful, Rosa, set your luggage down quickly and come with us. We're gonna go say hi to Anarchy. What happened to Mariah-chan? Is she still by the flower beds? Yes, it seems she found a rose collector. She said that she'd take care of it, refusing to listen. I decided to let her do what she wants for a while. We sometimes forget that girls have their own little world. Sometimes we have to respect that, right? That's right. Thanks for your concern, Karini-san. Goda-san, where is our room? I will guide you this way. Allow me to hold your luggage. I'll be fine. I can carry myself, thank you. Rosa went to her room, guided by Goda. She then closed the door somewhat violently and threw her luggage on top of the bed. She got down on her knees in front of the bed, burning her and face in it. For a while, Rosa made it as if to shred the sheets with her fingernails, sobbing constantly. Mariah-sama, are you alright? Can't appear from behind a thicket after watching Rosa leave. I'm fine. Mariah gave a creepy laugh at Ken, who had seen the whole thing, looked like she was enduring the best she could. She's a horrible person. I can't believe she's a mother. It can't be helped. You can't expect anything better than that to encounter a container of that level. I'm just fine. Ken got down on his knees and picked up the trampled candy. It was tragic just looking at it. He thought about dusting it off and returning to her, but he really couldn't do so in that condition. It was just as he was wondering what to do, he met Mariah's gaze. No, that wasn't quite right. Mariah looked at the candy Ken had picked up. Right now, Mariah's heart was surely the same as that candy had been trampled into a pulp. Ken realized this, but they know what he should do. That's right. I'll exchange it for the one I received earlier. Ken, remember that? Some look in he had received from Mariah was in his pocket. Mariah stuck out her hand. Ken thought she shouldn't take it, but so he held the candy, but Mariah didn't try to grasp it. The Ken realized she was going to give it back. No matter how tragic was trampled, it was this candy was Mariah's. Her mother had bought it for her. No matter how tragic it had to be this candy, no other. If only were intact enough that it could be fixed by dusting it off. Ken hung his head. Dusting it off is the most I can do. I'm sorry. Ken held out the miserable looking candy Mariah wanted. She took it and spoke. Thank you. A human can't do anything except dust it off, but a witch could restore it to how it once was. I would be easier for Beatrice. Mariah-sama, you know Beatrice-sama? Except for Battler, there's no way anyone related to Lucia or me or family could have felt and know Beatrice's name. But just now, Mariah had bragged about Beatrice the Battler. She had spoken almost as though she was meeting with Beatrice regularly. Ken felt a sharp pain inside his left hand, which was curled into a fist, then passed a witch called Beatrice that appeared to tempt him as Shannon. He'd always tried to think of it as a bad dream. However, Shannon insisted that it was definitely a real witch. And in this summer, the shrine to the local Shinto god was hit by lightning, disappeared without a trace of the span of a single night. He knew that about Shannon breaking that mirror, and they remembered that as the witch departed, she said she'd eventually be revived. And now this girl believed in Absolina Beatrice spoke as though she meant Beatrice herself. Ken couldn't suppress a vague sense of foreboding welling up in his heart. For a while, Mariah remained silent, as though she could see into Ken's heart, almost as though she was waiting for a memory of Beatrice to be revived, and then she spoke as though it was a fact. You know, I'm friends with Beatrice. I'm going to meet her today and play. You're going to play? Yeah, of course we'll play. We're going to study magic together. The face of that witch whom Ken had tried to pretend was a bad dream began to slowly creep into the back of his mind. Father says he's extremely busy with his research. Unfortunately, it seems he'll be unable to come down. Come on, we put this conference on our schedule to come all the way out to Rokenjima during this crazy busy fall season. You think Dad could at least be a little bit more sociable? Yeah, seriously, Dr. Nanjo, is this really his research and his mood out of the problem? He isn't already better and able to get up, right? Well, I wonder. There's not much I could say. Ninja glanced at Natsuhi. He seemed as he thought it was in his place to speak without getting his first gain Natsuhi's approval. Father said if health is better than ever, it would be exceedingly rude to call him bedridden. But he only has 2 months left to live, right? Not only would he expect him to be wasted away and able to get out of bed, isn't that right, Dr. Nanjo? For a normal patient, that would probably be the case, but Kinzo-san has extraordinary willpower. Perhaps that willpower has frightened even the Reaper away. Well, if he's that energetic, then I guess we have a little worried about for the near future, right? Though, if he's got much spunk, I wish he'd at least come greet us. Is that the whole point of this family conference, to come and see Dad's face? I'm not even sure why he came now. Don't say that. If he were here, you'd complain the whole time about being able to relax. Shouldn't we celebrate the fact that all of his siblings have gathered this year to spend some time alone? We didn't get to see him at last year's family conference either, right? Can you understand why his blood chilled him out to see him after 2 years? If there's anything you'd like to say in greeting, I would tell him for you. Or Eva-san, is there's you'd like to discuss his father beyond merely greeting him? Come on, what are you talking about? Sheesh. Give it a rest, Eva. Natsuhi's son, please give us. Eva's just worried about father's condition. That's his daughter. Please try and understand how she feels. Indeed, look how quickly you've grown to respect father. Now that you know how much longer he has to live. Yes, I believe I do understand why you want to see him so much. What are you trying to say? Quit it, Anarchy. Why don't we pray that Smudo will improve by dinner? Anyway, you only just arrived. For now, we're only here for a casual greeting, and we couldn't even hold the family conference without Dad. In fact, there's a few things we siblings shouldn't bring to him until we formed a unified opinion. Is that right, Hideyoshi-san? Yep, just as Rudolph-kun says. This is the only time of the year we can all meet in person. We've got to take this valuable time seriously and be frank with each other. Even though the tea hadn't arrived yet, they were very determined. But before that, perhaps we could spare the time to enjoy some black tea at our leisure, surrounded by the wonderful furnishings of the parlor. Carrie's words to the container subtle admonition directed everyone gathered there. They all understood as they cleared their throats and straightened their neckties. The atmosphere in the room would turn for a normal time. Blah blah blah. Excuse me, I brought some tea. Hey, Shan, you just kept getting prettier and prettier, shunning into the parlor, pushing the serving cart. Everyone decided to relax and enjoy some black tea for the time being. A wonderful aroma began to spread throughout the room. As far as anyone could see, the strained atmosphere from Shannon's arrival seemed a bit like a lie. Of course, Shannon, who was setting up the tea pie, didn't even notice. Kyrie seemed to laugh faintly at how adult everyone was suddenly acting. Rudolph didn't like it when Kyrie took the initiative and spoke at the family conference. It was his worthless male pride. He probably didn't want to look like a weak man who took advice from his wife. She understood that and did her best to refrain from saying any more than was necessary. So she separated herself from the circle of siblings who only superficially appeared to be enjoying some time together alone, and casually drank her tea near the window. Oh, Rosa's son, I thought you siblings were enjoying some time alone. You must be joking. Sorry, don't take it the wrong way. I'm just a little exasperated by the husband. Apparently, Rosa had been able to keep up with that on the surface friendliness. They come here to fight bloodily and dirtily, each trying to grab a part of the inheritance for themselves. She probably didn't like the suddenly pretending that they were all chummy, or maybe she was still too mature for that. It looked like the wind's starting to blowing hard out there. The plants are all shaking so much. The typhoon's probably gotten pretty close already. I wonder if we'll see a lot of rain tonight. Mariah Chan has really grown a lot this past year. Does it look that way? Still, she can't even fold her own clothing yet. No, it's true. It's because she's got such an affectionate mother. She'll go into a girl with a rich heart. Rosa fell silent. Maybe she was unsure what Kyrie meant by that. I'm a failure as a mother. Children don't get to choose their parents. That poor girl. Does that go both ways? A parent can't choose what kind of child they have either. Rosa bit her lower lip. This is a matter of assigning blame. It is enough that you take your time and watch over her as she grows, conscious of the fact that you'll be living together. It's been every day with my chance, so you probably don't notice the small changes, but the rest of us who haven't seen her for a year can clearly see how much you've grown. If you only mean that, thank you very much. And then if you'll excuse me, if there's anything you desire, please call for it at any time. Shannon bowed politely and left the room. As Hideyoshi and Rudolph, who had a soft spot for women, watched her go, the atmosphere in the room, she began to revert back to what it had been right before Shannon's visit. If Father can't come down, that does still leave us with certain things we can discuss, right, Rudolph? Yep, that's right. We didn't come all the way out here just to drink some dusty tea, right? Well, very well. What's this matter that you're clearly still going to discuss? My, those people really are determined. They certainly got started quick. I need to join in too. If I don't start myself, those people will quickly forget their four siblings. Sounds like you got pretty tough with yourself. Maybe I spoke too harshly. Forgive me. No, I don't mind. I'm the one who should be apologizing. As a pair of mothers with daughters, we should talk more often. Every single time we meet, we end up talking about something not shady. You can blame them as spreading the mention for that. Once you breathe in this air, everyone gets so strained. Just once. I'd like to have a nice long cup of tea with you when we aren't attending a family conference. There's a wonderful coffee shop in Ginza that's a favorite of mine. Please let me invite you sometime soon. Thank you, Carrie. Sounds great. Oh no, the sky has gotten dark pretty fast. I almost believe the people in this room made the weather worse. There's already thunder. Oh, what's that there? Huh? There were really small splashes of rain on the glass of the parlor window. The weather seemed to worsen faster than expected. Just then, a silent thunderbolt struck inside Rose's head, and she remembered that her beloved child was out in the rose garden. A normal girl would try to go inside if the weather got bad, but Mariah was different. She would sometimes get stubborn and refuse to move if rain or even spears fell from the sky. That's right, I told her the child to just stay there doing that forever, didn't I? Oh no, Mariah. Everyone looked back at Rosa and she let out a small scream. What is it? I'm sorry, I'm going outside for a second. I'll be right back. What's seriously going on with her? Don't worry, she'll be back soon. More importantly, shouldn't we begin our main topic? That's right, we could keep talking about that without Rosa. Let's return to our discussion. Rosa dashed on just into the rose garden. When she opened the door, that wind was too strong to be called a light breeze, and told her the typhoon was approaching faster than she thought. Just as Kyrie had said, the wind was mixed in with small droplets of rain. There was also a low rumble of thunder. It could start raining any time. Rosa headed for the rose garden. She headed for a place where she had scolded Mariah a short while ago. It was almost lunchtime. The children had been told to come to the mansion around lunchtime, so they were probably in the guest house waiting to be called. Even if Mariah didn't come to them, they'd surely think I took her to the mansion with me and wouldn't worry much. After all, she'd been giving her mother, so there should have been no reason to worry. Been with her mother, okay. I was here. I'd been in my daughter through the worsening weather. Mariah, are you there? If you're there, answer me. Ooh, oh, it's right. She was still standing stock still. Exactly the same way she had been in the place where I scolded her. Held her hand was the candy that I bought, given her, and then stepped uncrushed. With that crisp in her hand, she stood there as the powerful wind whipped her hair without tormenting her. I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. Sorry, Mariah. Forgive me, Mama. Ooh, I will come back. I waited a long time for you to come back. The scary witch pinched me, but I stayed strong, waiting for Mama to come back without crying. Mariah, forgive you, Mama. Forgive you, Mama. You didn't do anything wrong. You were just possessed by the bad witch again. So I'm fine. I really like you, Mama. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me, Mama, for losing to the bad witch. Rosa buried her face in Mariah's small chest, crying, begging for forgiveness, and once again those tears dripped down after who knows many times. If only the brilliant sun had been shining on the two of them, all their cares would have evaporated, and it might have felt like they could begin anew. However, what surrounding the two of them was worsening weather. Sadly, there were only fierce winds with occasional thunder. The sound of Mariah sniffling brought Rosa to her senses, and Mariah stayed exposed to the wind for too long. She'd probably catch a cold. Okay, Mariah, it's almost time for lunch. Why don't you two come back for the mansion with me? Ooh, won't go. Why not? Rosa thought she'd already received Mariah's forgiveness, so she hadn't imagined Mariah would refuse. That expression on Mariah's face didn't look like that of a child resisting her mother, so Rosa couldn't understand why Mariah wanted to stand still pointlessly as the weather grew even worse. Mariah answered that question. It's Beatrice. She'll be here really soon, so I'm waiting. Mariah. Rosa struggled to find words for a moment, then fell silent. They'd only just managed to make up after all. She chose her words carefully, trying to get Mariah to come with her to the mansion without denying the witch outright. Beatrice is coming? Ooh, really? Then instead of waiting here, why don't we wait in the mansion? If you stay in this wind too long, you'll catch a cold. She'll come, Beatrice will come. And then if she does, I'll give her candy. I'll do trick-or-treat. I'll give her a jack-o'-lantern marshmallow candy and say, Happy Halloween, ooh. Mariah pulled yet another sweet out of her hand back and went, Rosa was bewildered and didn't know what to do. As far as started being difficult again. At the time, there was a sudden blast of thunder. It's probably a sign that this island had been sealed off by the storm, detached from common sense and reality. So after this moment, all common sense would probably cease to apply. The wind blew in stronger, and the mist that blizzard scattered rose petals. A figure appeared, leaving Rosa unable to imagine that this was a scene from reality. It's probably no, definitely fantastical. After all, that shadow of person was. Okay. Beatrice, Mariah dashed over to the shadow. Knowing Rosa was gold, her daughter actually seen dashed over someone who she hadn't seen before and didn't know. Rosa forgot to do that and was unable to say anything but stand there stunned. It's been quite some time. Have you been well? Ooh, I've been well. Witches don't have catch colds. Ooh. Cackle, cackle. Indeed, a witch can use curses to make people catch colds, but how foolish would it be if she caught one herself? From now on, you should take care not to catch something like a cold yourself. She patted Mariah's head as she said this, smiling recklessly. Rosa couldn't know the name of the woman who was happily spoiling Mariah. However, Mariah called it out, beginning when the woman appeared. So even though Rosa had never met her, she knew, though the woman still didn't introduce herself, Rosa was able to know her name. However, that name had special meaning in Rokkenjima and the Ushirimiya family. There's no way that someone just something that stupid could be. Beatrice, happy Halloween. Look at what we bought. I'll give you one too, Beatrice. Ooh. Indeed, happy Halloween. Oh, is this for me? How truly adorable that a candy would be made out of this. The lonely light of a man lost in the darkness of purgatory, unable to go to heaven or hell. Right now on this island that has been cut off both in the world of humans and the world of non-humans, there may be no suitable sweet. Cackle, cackle. Alright, what's wrong with that one? The witch noticed that sweet Mariah was grasping. It was Mariah's candy, which had been stomped on by Rosa until it reached its pitiful state. Ooh, got stepped on and smashed. Can you fix it? Mariah didn't go as far to say it was her mother who stepped on it. However, for some reason, the witch saw that candy. She looked at Rosa and grinned. As she went down Rosa's spine, as though she's gaze was staring straight through her. It shall be easy. Give it to me. Mariah held the candy out gleefully. Rosa do nothing but watch stunned. How did this person plan to trick Mariah somehow due to the fact that this candy had been pitifully trampled? Mariah looked as though she believed that it could be fixed as new. Without real magic, there was no way such a thing could be possible. Mama, it's quite crushed, isn't it? Come, Mariah, close your eyes to try to remember. Because it really was that wonderful candy. The candy of your memory is always full and fluffy, so you try to remember as well what kind of candy it was really. Along with those strange words spoken as though singing an improvised folk song, the witch threw the sweet into the air. Mariah was closing her eyes, remembering just as the witch had told her to. Whether that shape that crushed candy really had, but therefore only Rosa saw that scene. That sweet that had been thrown into the air burst with a gold color. No, it wasn't it. Those were golden butterflies. It scattered into several golden butterflies. They began together at the witch's hand, which was held up to the sky. And as she did this unbelievably, it returned to this beautiful original form, no different from when it had been bought. Only Rosa no witch witnessed the scene. Unable to comprehend what was occurring right before her eyes, so they stood their mouth hanging open, completely forgetting to shut it. You may open your eyes, take it. With this, your sweet has returned to normal. Ew, Beatrice is always incredible. And was there a stark contrast between Rosa's shock and Mariah's instant joy? Was that the witch? Was that what the witch was laughing at? A smile floated to Beatrice's face, no different from the smile she had shown Mariah. Does my face seem familiar? If you stare so fixedly, you might burn a hole through it. I'm sorry. Those words triggered something very clearly in Rosa's mind. Rosa knew this face. She knew from the portrait of the witch, but no way. How could this mystery woman really be? Mariah, I give you this in exchange for the sweet you gave me. Ooh, a letter? The witch pulled a western envelope from her pocket, gave it to Mariah. However, when Mariah made it to open it, the witch stopped her. You must not. The time will soon come for you to open it, but until then, you absolutely must not. Take good care of it. That will be your invitation to the Golden Land. The Golden Land, so you finally take me there. Take it and shoot it with care. You must not show it to anyone. Ooh, I'll keep that promise. You always gotta keep promises with witches. And this is for you. Huh? Me? She probably didn't have imagined that the witch would speak to her too. Rosa was bewildered by the second western envelope, which was just before her. She'd seen a type of envelope before it. Could be no mistake. It was one of Kinto's special envelopes used when he wrote his own hand and bearing the Ushirimiya family crest. It was sealed with red sealing wax, and furthermore, it had a mark that seemed to have been made by the head's ring. In other words, even without asking what was inside this letter, Rosa knew that this woman, whom Mariah called Beatrice, was trusted enough to be placed in the charge of a personal letter of the current Ushirimiya head. It could have been any of the four siblings. However, the fact that I met you here probably means that you were chosen by Kinto's roulette. So take it and read its contents aloud while seated at the dinner table with all the siblings are gathered. But as you say, Rosa looked back and forth several times between the witch's face and the envelope that had been handed to her. Today was the family's conference. The biggest subject of the discussion would be the inheritance problem. So she had joined together with Eva and Rudolph, and they planned to force a certain condition on Cross to try and extort several hundred million yen in cash out of him. It is as if the witch could see through all of that. What if she attended an announcement when all of her siblings are gathered? Out that personal envelope that no one but the extreme head can use. Mariah, the weather's getting worse. Return to the guest house. Wait for lunchtime. Rosa, we'll meet again later. Allow me to introduce myself again at the time. Cackle, cackle. The witch turned her back to her, laughing. Then she began to head towards the mansion with an air of composure. Mariah energetically called out and watched her go. Then Rosa began to dash towards the guest house, leaving Rosa behind. As though she wanted to inform the cause of her fortunate meeting with the witch as soon as she could. At last, Rosa was left alone in the rose garden as the wind grew stronger. Unable to do anything but pray. What had happened was just a daydream. When the witch reached the entrance hall, Genji could be seen there. Genji welcomed the guests approaching the entrance hall with a respectful bow. I have been waiting, Beatrice-sama. It's been quite some time, Genji. You've gotten old. No matter how old it becomes, the furniture carries out to work like furniture until the end. I remember how that man's wife used to be jealous of you. Is Kento doing well? He's doing extremely well. Cackle, cackle, cackle. The witch probably left because she knew Kento's old doctor and announced that Kento didn't have long to live. However, if anyone actually looked at Kento and noticed his vigor, which wasn't at all what you expect from someone near the end of his life, they might easily call that he's doing extremely well. Maybe that's what the witch was laughing at. Then asked to go and greet him. I look forward to hurling curses at each other after 30 years. After the witch grinned, she started to walk in, leaving Genji behind. Her gait was like that of a family member who knew the inside of the mansion well. Genji followed her in the manner of one who served her. After the time Kari came at the parlor, she'd probably gone off to fix her makeup or something. And when she saw Genji following the witch, she was surprised, although her expression did not change. I guess her Kenzo had arrived despite him being almost dead on the day of the family conference and the fate of the inheritance was to be decided. Furthermore, this person was familiar enough with the Ushimiya family household that Genji was following behind her. Kari immediately realized this person she had never met before was deeply important. Kari and the witch's eyes met, realized that it would be rude to pretend not to notice. She greeted the witch. It's a pleasure to meet you. You are Rudolph's second wife, yes? Correct. This is Kari-sama, Rudolph-sama's current wife. From this exchange, Kari realized that this was a guest of a fairly high rank, even amidst the Ushimiya family, and the fact that this was a guest on that level, coupled with the resemblance to the portrait in the entrance hall, made Kari's eyes instantly wide open. Even though she doesn't really look anything like in the portrait. Maybe she did in the original version, I don't know. Ooh, I like this portrait a lot more. Okay, maybe it looks kind of like her, I guess. Pleased to meet you, I'm Kari. I wonder if this is our first meeting. If we haven't met before, I apologize for forgetting your name. So you intend to force me to state my name even though you already have a vague idea of the answer. Kari thought she was giving a sociable and humble greeting. Her expression grew slightly clouded at the openly impressive response. Anyway, this is to be a person she could go to like. But if Kari's guesses were correct, this witch probably had a vital key to her own husband was most interested in. Something that couldn't help but influence tonight's family conference. So without shooting back over to her, Kari silently watched her go up the stairs to the second floor with Genji falling behind. So when someone tapped her shoulder from behind, she was so surprised she almost choked. It was Natsuhi. Kari-san, why are you staying still in a place like this? Are you not feeling well? I'm sorry, I was just fascinated by the portrait of the witch for a bit. Oh, you mean the Golden Witch Beatrice, the one whose gold was supposedly necessary for the revived Ushimiya family we see today. Quite a fantastical story, just one of my second father. And she spoke in a perfectly ordinary way. It was a sort of comment you expect from someone who convinced that the thought of a witch existing was ridiculous, no more than other Kenzo's resemblings. However, for some reason, that point of view didn't seem quite right to Kari now. Just a moment ago, she herself had seen the Golden Witch coming from the entrance hall and climb up the stairs. So Natsuhi's words made it feel as though someone was trying to deny the existence of that person, or else make it seem like she was never there to begin with. I am sorry, maybe I'm getting a bit of a headache. I don't think I'll rest for a little while. Oh, is that so? I've been a good headache medicine. I'll get it for you. wine from the Kinzo study was filled with the scent of a sweet poisonous peculiar to the green liquor. Kenji, who is completely used to it, did not grimace, and the Golden Witch didn't grimace either. How long it's been since he last left? I believe it's already been several years. Is it that this was determined to a bird in a cage? How pitiful. By now you're in the bird in the cage. You're the ghost of this study, are you not? How pitiful that he is unable to recognize even that. Until he meets you again, he'll probably continue his research even after literally becoming a ghost. Is it love or madness or delusion? And yet perhaps even those can form magical power when strong enough. You could say a magician. The witchcraft was thrown up to the study. When she did, there was a sound like that of a whole flesh burning, splitting open. There was the sound of the doorknob literally burning the witch's hands. Beatrice Sama, what is this? A ward against magic. Is that person unable to get by without relying on something like this? I have heard that this sword would cause you great pain, Beatrice. Shall I open it? No, it's fine. If he wins, I'll be a bird cage in all eternity. If he loses, the only life of a laughing stock will be left. The life of a pitiful magician who went mad with love and lost everything. Already, King's I am nothing more than pieces laid on the game board. All that is left is for the roulette to decide who wins and who loses. Until the roulette shows its results, there's no need for me and Kinzo to meet again. The witch looked at her hand, which was beginning to heal bit by bit, even though it had been horribly burned. Or perhaps this is why he was ward here in the first place. Yes, perhaps even there's an arbor on its own way. By now, everything sits in the top of Kinzo's game board. I like it, Kinzo. Allow me to enjoy my game with you. Allow me to enjoy the failure of the final gamble of the old magician who fell in love with me and threw away his entire life. Ah, what a bitch. But, guys, I will be ending the video here. So I'll see you guys later.